Just want to let you lot know that if you're watching this clip on the Fozcast YouTube channel, the full episode is now available to watch exclusively on Spotify, and it's free. Come on. When you're out of your comfort zone, it's so scary. There's a goal that kind of explains it all, really. Do you remember when Wayne Rooney scored the goal against West Ham? I think it was Jussi Jääskeläinen in goal, and he scored one from the halfway line. And Jussi he's on the edge of his box, and you can tell he's lost his bearings. He's lost where he is in the goal. And he tries to turn back and run, and then he tries to sidestep, and then he tries to cross step.
It might have been Adrian, no?
Adrian. I think it was Adrian. I've absolutely killed Jussi Jääskeläinen there. Sorry, Jussi, mate. It was Adrian. And he ends up tying himself in a knot, and he falls on the floor on the 6-yard line, doesn't he? And the ball just floats into the back of the net. That right there is a goalie who has lost his bearings. It's the most scariest place to be in the world, isn't it, when you don't know where you are in the goal?
But, sometimes you stand, square, you watch, and then that happens. So you start moving a little bit, and then the ball goes, and it goes from right to left, and it keeps moving.
Uh-oh.
And this is where even the problem comes, If you turn the wrong way, they have no way back. Because you turn one way, then the ball swerves the other.
Your body weights
before you turn, you can't, or you have to turn entirely like 180. And then you have an issue that you don't see it for a second, and then you don't know how far it is, and it happens. I considered like that. I think it was Cissé scored at Stamford Bridge.
Chelsea. Do you remember the Newcastle-Chelsea goal?
We played Newcastle. They had the throw-in.
On the volley.
Throw-in, and then he just kicks it in.
Outside of the left foot.
And I'm in goal, and then literally the ball goes all sort of way, and it was close to the bar. So I thought if I use my left hand, just flick it over the bar, but then it went way too far and swerved out.
Yeah, it was his right foot, outside of his right foot.
And then I realized, okay, I now need to use my right arm, but I couldn't anymore. So I had no chance. So I had to sort of find a way to flick it with my left hand, and I couldn't reach it. It literally went all the way above.
And that was an interesting.
And then it goes in, and then the worst thing is that I was in a good place. I was paying attention, and this goes in. You look like an idiot. Like everybody goes like, "What is he doing?" It goes from over there and this. But sometimes it comes in the angle where physically it's actually impossible for you to get there. And miskicked cross is the worst bit, because you're getting for the cross, and then somebody loops it over you. Yeah. Back post is way too high, way too far. The goal is too big sometimes. So. You have to accept that, but this is the thing, when you look back and you just go, okay, I was in the right place. I paid attention. It's not like, I was not focused on anything. I didn't have time to do anything else. It didn't happen. Then you can actually live with that. But things like that happen. But this is the moment where people don't realize, but there is a moment when you stand on the pitch, you see the ball coming. And you know that that's it. You do everything. You do everything. You dive and you hope, but there is that little stomach where you. It basically tells you, okay, that's it. You're done now, because it goes in and you can't do anything.
I had a phone call last week, Petr. I had a phone call last week with a bike manufacturer from Spain, and one of they're friends with Andres Iniesta, and I said, Ben made his debut against Spain. Iniesta scored quite a good goal.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Was that one of those where...
That's exactly what Petr just said there. He shot from the edge of the 18-yard box, mate. It's went in the top corner over me. And all I can think was, this is on telly. Yeah? This is on telly, right? I've got my family watching, and I need to just dive for it. I need to give it everything I've got. I know I'm not getting anywhere.
Did you know the second it came off
his foot? The second he left his foot, he had done all the calculations. Iniesta had seen me. I was a little bit too far off my line. He had done all the calculations. He executed it to perfection, and I knew he had done me. It's as simple as that. He had done me, and there's nothing you can do about it except for give it everything you've got, so you don't look an absolute.
But
plonker.
The two examples you've both given there, to be fair, they were both pretty good goals.
That Cissé goal was phenomenal, mate. I wouldn't even blame you for that, mate, because I know for a fact you would have thought this has happened so quickly here, hasn't it?
Sometimes you have to, I always say, like, there is a moment where somebody scores and you just go, okay, fair play. Yeah. That you can have this one because, you've done the right thing, you hit it well. Sometimes the players, they are top players. So the top player will always produce a top strike, top situation where they will just simply beat you and you can't do much about it, and you have to just accept, okay, that's the part of the game. And when you grow up, actually, this is the hardest part, accepting that the goals against you are actually part of the game. You hate it with everything. I hate conceding goal, anything I do. I just when I just came to the realization when I was like 13, 14, that I actually finally I accepted that I can't save everything, that I would love to, and I will always try to save everything, and people will have to, my mentality in goal is, if you deserve to beat me, you beat me. But you have to produce something. I'm not giving you for free for you. You have to really come up with something. And that was my mentality. If you beat me and you manage to do that, fair play to you. You can have your goal, but I will make sure that you don't have it easy. And that was my thing. When sometimes I watch a situation in games and I see, there is a goalkeeper who gave up too early. Almost felt like, it's impossible. He sort of, I can't get there. So, but my theory was always never give up. You never know what happens. Sometimes you just dive because you feel like, okay, I just dived that it looks better. No, if you dive with all the purpose, even in a situation when it looks completely, useless, the player might have bad contact or feel the pressure of you coming, and then might just miss the kick and give you a chance. And so that was always my thing. Never give up.
Can you ever remember a save that you've made in a game where you thought, I'm not saving this, and you go in for it anyway, you give it everything you've got, like you say, and then you manage to just get a little nick on it, a little something on it, and you stop it from going in? They're the saves for me that when you've almost resigned yourself to defeat, but you actually manage to save it, you get up and you go, oh my God.
Do you know it's a good example of that, Ben, is a few weeks ago, and he got a few people were having a bit of a laugh about it. But do you remember in the Champions League when Kasper, was it Champions League? Yeah, Kasper was on his back shuffling across. And people going, what's he doing? And you go, he's desperate to keep the ball out. And if that ball would have caught the back of his head or neck, it'd have been like absolutely applauded, wasn't it? But it's like you say, you can't ever give up.
And this is where actually comes to the point where we were talking about the techniques. Yeah. So obviously there are better techniques than other techniques. That's obvious. But I always tried every different techniques, everything I could, because my objective was like, I don't care how it looks. I just want to save the ball with the most efficient way.
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this clip of the Fozcast. If you would like to watch the full episode, it is now available exclusively on Spotify for free.